their intelligence into the marketplace. Because building a business isn't easy, but if we do it together, it gets much easier. Ladies, please welcome the one and the only Sage LeBlanc. Ready?
Yes!
I can feel it.
Yeah.
I want to do workshops on the solstice more often. Are you ready to stop making yourself wrong?
Yes!
Are you ready to make everything that you've been through in your life a part of this spiritually wealthy path?
Yes.
And are you ready to have the business that reflects all of who you are and all the work that you've done on yourself and receive all that you've given in your life back into your own heart and your own soul and your own bank account? Woo! Give someone a high five and say, you are spiritually wealthy. Serena mentioned that it wasn't always this way for me. Serena mentioned that I didn't always have this much love in my life. The truth is that I had a lot of love. I definitely had some love that was bringing on codependent love. Raise your hand if you can relate. And I certainly was not raised in a wealth mindset. Thinking back, my friend Roger Hamilton, I don't know if you know him, friend of mine from Bali, trainer, he woke me up a little bit when he reminded me that even from the very moment we were kids, we were taught that the world is scarce. We're here at the Spiritual Wealth Retreat. I feel like it's important to just take a moment and think back to where some of our money beliefs came from. Yes?
Yes.
We were raised in a world where there wasn't enough for everyone. Think about the game of musical chairs. The whole idea of the game is that every single round, there's less and less and less to go around. Were you excited when there wasn't a chair for you? Was that a good feeling? How many of you can relate to that sinking feeling? How many of you notice that that sinking feeling still sometimes happens in life? Are you ready to become so aware of when that sinking feeling happens that you can catch it before you snowball into the slew of stories that you're not enough, or that your gift isn't enough, that your talent isn't enough? Right? Meanwhile, as I was raised by two wonderful parents who loved me, both school teachers in Iowa, the whole reason that they did what they did were three reasons: June, July, and August. And we would be out on our old school pontoon boat in the summer, celebrating the fact that we didn't have to work because we were teachers. And my mom would say something to the tune of, I wonder what the rich people are doing. And the whole point of that was like, we have freedom, they don't. And there was something that went in really deep when we would sit around the dinner table and talk about Republicans and the people with money and how they were the people that were ruining the world. There were things that got pair bonded inside my head that I have had to spend the last few years unpacking and separating out. You ready to do some of that work over the next few days?
Yes.
Give someone a high five and say, I'm ready for financial freedom. What I've come to understand what I've come to understand is that there are a lot of forms of wealth. There are a lot of forms of wealth. And I spent a great deal of my life valuing freedom more than money. I traveled all around the world on $8,000 or $9,000. I had a whole year of seeing New Zealand and Australia and Japan and Venezuela for less than $10,000. And I took pride in the fact that I was there sleeping on people's couches, spending $8 a night to stay at the youth. I took pride. I'm sure none of you can relate to this. I took pride in the fact that I was living out of a backpack and everything that I needed fit into this bag that I could carry, and that I had enough money in my little woven purse that I had bought in Bangkok, Thailand, to pay for dinner that night. And that's all I cared about. And so I actually had to teach myself to love and respect and appreciate money. How many of you are doing that same work right now? Awesome, awesome. So it's gonna be a really good few days. We're gonna turn around and we're gonna blow a kiss to the live streamers. Ready, 1, 2, 3. And one of the things we're gonna do over the next few days is I'm gonna ask all of you to give yourself a raise. Because who really has the power to give you a raise? Who does? Who does? You're entrepreneurs now. And we are living at a time when I really do believe that there's no limit on what we can create. And we're gonna do an exercise tonight called the Passion Test. It's an exercise that I learned from my friend Janet Atwood. And one of the things that we're gonna be exploring is the truth that we can have anything we want, but we can't have everything that we want. Are you with me? And we certainly can't have everything that we want, like tomorrow. So we're going to be exploring, like, how do we ground this energy of excitement? Because it's easy to get into spiritual bypass and be like, oh, woo, you know, I'm going to have it all, and I'm going to get wealthy, and what are the steps to get there? And what's most important in what order, so that we can actually bring some grounded manifestation into this world of anything is possible. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you start right here, right now, identifying yourselves as a wealthy leader. As a what, please?
Wealthy leader.
Because is it true that because we're here at the Asilomar, most of you either drove in a car or got onto a plane to get here? Raise your hand if you actually got onto a plane. Wow. That's over half of you. That's actually not as common as normal. And raise your hand if you drove here. Yeah, so about half and half. Are you with me that the fact that we're here having this conversation on a Monday afternoon puts us in the top approximately 3 to 5% of privilege in the world? Are you with me on that?
Yes.
Right? And certainly in the top 5 to 10% even in the United States. The fact that we can decide how we want to make a living, the fact that we get to choose how we want to be generative, puts us at such a privileged place. And so I'm going to invite us to start this week in the consciousness of wealthy leadership. And so here's what this looks like. Who would like to demonstrate for me? And let's grab this person a microphone. Raise your hand if you want to hop up on stage. You're right back here. In the burgundy, I can't remember your name. I'm going to get better at names. Blue. Let's give Blue a round of applause. Because this stage is kind of high. It's higher, I don't know, it's like some sort of a, optical illusion. It's a little higher than you think it is, so we like to have you use the stairs. So come on over. So Blue, hi, how are you?
Great, I just walked in the door.
Yay! And her hand went up. That is true leadership. I was like, who wants to volunteer? She's like, boom. Remind me where you came in from?
Phoenix.
Nice.
It's really hot there.
Are you glad to be here?
Yes.
Yeah, good. All right, so we're going to greet each other, and I'm going to just look in your eyes, and I'm going to see the woman who I know is a leader and who is already wealthy in all areas of her life. And when I see her, I might not even know her, but I'm going to also reflect the ways that I see her growing toward her leadership. Does that make sense? So Blue, the wealthy leader I see in you is gentle and feminine and really, really safe, but also like totally committed to the work that you want to do on this planet with like a reverence. Can you feel that? Yeah. Can you feel how that would not have been the same acknowledgement as it would have been for somebody else in the room? Like, we're a group of intuitive women, yes? So what you get out of this exercise can actually be very powerful, because you may have someone seeing you who's never met you before that actually sees something in you that you're surprised actually shows through. Would you like to reciprocate?
Sure.
So your job is just to say, the wealthy leader I see in you, and then whatever.
The wealthy leader that I see in you is joyful, focused, and just really clear and determined about what you're here to do.
Thank you. Can we give her a kiss? You know what to do? At least 3 people. No crosstalk, just the wealthy leader I see in you is, thank you. The wealthy leader I see in you is, thank you. And then go on to the next person so that you get in at least 3 in the next 5 minutes. How many, please? 3. Enjoy. So thank you.